In a quiet, picturesque neighborhood where every yard seemed meticulously manicured, I thought my mature trees were a welcome part of the scenery. Tall, leafy, and proud, these trees had stood for decades, providing shade, beauty, and a haven for local wildlife. But I never imagined they would become the center of a heated conflict with my local homeowners association, specifically the notorious HOA chairwoman I now call HOA Karen. The trouble began one crisp spring morning when I received a panicked call from my neighbor. She said that Karen had brought in a crew and was cutting down trees on my property without my permission. Shocked and outraged, I rushed home to find heavy equipment already at work, branches crashing to the ground and my trees being felled one by one. I immediately confronted Karen, who justified her actions by claiming that the trees were a neighborhood eyesore, blocking views and posing a hazard. She insisted she was protecting property values and enforcing HOA rules. But none of this was ever communicated to me. No warnings, no notices, just a sudden, unauthorized tree massacre. Frustrated, I quickly gathered my documentation. To my surprise, these weren't just any ordinary trees. They were a part of a federally protected species under the Endangered Species Act. My property was home to a rare type of oak tree, crucial for the survival of several endangered birds and insects. These trees were surveyed and officially listed in the Federal Registry as protected habitat. Armed with this critical information, I requested an immediate stop to the cutting and contacted federal authorities. It turned out that Karen had acted not only without my consent, but also in direct violation of federal environmental laws. The felling of those trees could have resulted in hefty fines and legal consequences for the HOA, and for Karen personally. I arranged a meeting with the HOA board, federal conservation officers, and Karen herself. Presenting scientific reports, federal documentation, and expert testimony, I made it clear that those trees were irreplaceable, both ecologically and legally. The board members, visibly shocked, admitted they had been unaware of the tree's protected status and apologized for the oversight. The federal officers explained the gravity of the situation and emphasized the importance of protecting endangered habitats. The HOA agreed to halt all landscaping and tree removal activities immediately. They even committed to funding a restoration program to plant native trees and support local wildlife. As for Karen, the HOA chairwoman was removed from her position due to her disregard for due process and the law. She later attended a federally sponsored environmental awareness workshop as part of her remediation efforts. This experience taught me several important lessons. First, always know your property rights and environmental protections. Second, never underestimate the power of knowledge when standing up to unjust authority. And finally, that even difficult conflicts can be resolved through education and cooperation. Now my trees stand tall and healthy, a symbol of resilience and the natural heritage we all share. The neighborhood has become more environmentally conscious, and I've even been invited to speak at local schools about the importance of protecting endangered species. Next time you hear about an HOA Karen taking drastic action, remember, sometimes the trees have federal defenders too.